This video is about answering the question, how many stories can we complete in the next few days? What we're trying to do is run Monte Carlo simulations. And very briefly, a Monte Carlo simulation in this scenario is that we are taking some throughput data, number of stories that we have completed per day in the past. And based on that, we're trying to predict what will happen in the next few days. Quickly going through the inputs. So this piece of data over here is basically telling us what happened in the last 30 days. For the team, we completed 0 stories on day 1, 3 stories on day 2, 2 stories on day 3, and on and on. So this is 30 days of data. The number of simulations, I'm running the simulation 20,000 times, and days to simulate. How many future number of days do I want to simulate and get the throughput for? So that's 30. So that's the basic input over here. We want to take last 30 days of throughput data, and based on that, predict what happens in the next 30 days. How many number of stories will be complete in the next 30 days. You can change this to whatever is your requirement. Next very important question is, how confident should we be in our forecast? So this is probabilistic language now. Nothing is deterministic. It's a question about risk. So how much risk do you want to take? So I'm happy at 85% confidence level, because that means I'm happy to take 15% risk of being wrong. In some cases where there's a highly regulated environment, you might want to take it higher to a 90, 95%, but you'll see that the throughput data will become more restricted. So you'll have less number of stories predicted because you want to de-risk a lot. So that's the number over here, confidence level 85. So once you run this tool by clicking run all, it will go through all of the code and run and create these charts for us. So this is the histogram after 20,000 simulations. What it's showing is for each possible value of stories completed in the next 30 days, is showing us how much percent of simulations predicted that value. So for example, this value up here is around 6.5%, 6.8%. So that's what we are saying, that 7% of the simulations returned a value of 18. Now, another way to look at this is to look at the percentage of completion and or the probability of completion and take it as a cumulative percentage. And that's exactly what the chart does. So what we are seeing is there's a minuscule chance, very, very high risk predictability or high risk forecast that we'll be able to complete 40 stories. But as these number of stories or the throughput for the next 30 days becomes lower and lower, our risk starts becoming lower and lower, and our confidence level goes higher, which is depicted here because we chose 85% confidence. And at 85% confidence, we can say that in the next 30 days, we'll be able to complete 13 or more stories. So that's what this chart does. If I go up here and just change that to, let's say, I don't want to do 30. I want to look at next 14 days, and I'll just run all by clicking this button here. It will just take a few seconds to run through all the code and create this new chart for us. So now you can see in the next 14 days, the histogram looks a bit different. And for at 85%, we will complete 4 stories in the next 14 days. Well, 4 stories or more, or that's the preferred way of talking about probabilistic forecasts. So this is it. This is the tool. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you have any questions about multi-feature simulations or finding out dates for your features to be completed based on a start date, I've been working on a tool similar to that too. That's about it. Please do get in touch with me if you have any questions, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.